Are we doing amazing today? Yes, yes.
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 Let's
Okay, okay,
go.
awesome.
Yes.
Anyway,
All right.
fabulous Friday. Great morning to you. Thank you so much, Miss Jen, for filling in for Mr. David Price. That means that he got a lot of great people in place that when he in his absence, the show still goes on. But guys, I want to be able to recognize this young lady that has been with us a little over maybe a year and 2 months. Actually, I think a year and 2 months. But you're still right here as part of the Phase One crew. We like to call her. I would say I definitely like to call her. Anybody want a dog? My dog is just insane. Anybody want a dog? I'm giving away toy poodles. You can have them. Okay. So anyway, so we like to call this person, the part-time queen. I don't want to go into her background, but I'm telling you, this lady is going to get the work done by any means necessary. She works here part-time. However, according to her numbers, you would never tell that she's part-time. She's always putting up at least a good $8,000 in production every single month. There are some few months she missed it a policy or two, but always willing to help. And so a reason why I wanted to spotlight this young lady, because we spotlight a lot of people. People are doing $60,000, but I know we got some part-time people on here. Anybody here just part-time? Wave your hand if you're part-time. Wave your hand if you're part-time. Okay. So I see some part-time people, right? And so what I want to do is give you guys the opportunity to learn from people who are part-time, but also doing well in the business, even at the part-time age. Okay. She's always willing to learn, very eager and not shy by any means necessary. And so if you don't know who she is, if you were at the event, she was the bodacious queen who asked Mr. Ron Powell the first question. And so I absolutely love people like that, that is not afraid, that is not a secret agent and not afraid to ask very important questions. But I want to bring up the part-time telesales queen, but got full-time numbers, Miss Latasha London. Latasha.
Let's go, Tosh.
Ooh, let's go,
Tasha,
Tasha.
yes.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Great morning.
Well,
Good morning.
good morning. Well,
Okay,
again,
so great morning. I'm sorry. So I didn't. That's my fault. So great morning. So Latasha, what Tasha's gonna do is give her a brief information about her background, why she started. So kind of give a just something briefly about why you got started. Tell her about your background, and then if I have some other questions, like even how you're able to hit those numbers that you're hitting as part time. So go ahead. Floor is yours. Can we spotlight Miss Latasha for me, please? Pretty, please.
Let me know when to go.
Go ahead, Miss Tasha.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Latasha. My married name is London, but I'm actually divorced. I kept my name for my girls. So I am a single parent of two beautiful girls. My oldest is 12, should be 13 in July, and my youngest just turned 10 this week. I have been separated since 2017, but I actually just got my divorce last year. So the reason why I wanted to start this company is, one, I am part-time because I do have a great job. I actually work for the federal government. I am an auditor and I've actually been working there for 20 years. And I actually do pretty well there, financially. However, being a single parent that doesn't get any help financially from my ex-husband, my children's father, he does not help out at all. So I had to take it upon myself. If I wanted my divorce, I had to get another job. And I did not want to take a job working at Walmart, Target, or anything that I didn't feel that was good enough to help me provide for my girls. So literally, the first job I applied for was with Phase One. I got in and I took it. So I do work full time. And actually, with me being full time with my job, there are weeks that I do well more than 40 hours. There's some weeks that I've done 50 hours. There's some weeks that I've done 60 hours, but I still make time to do it here. So just like with us, how we provide insurance to Our prospects, I actually provide insurance to agencies that are underfunded that cannot pay their pension plans. So that's what I do. So it's kind of similar, but a little different. And I make sure that the participants that work for these companies are able to still receive a check every month to pay their bills. So that's what I do as an auditor. So I used to write reports, but now I'm a reviewer. So I'm an auditor, technical reviewer. So I do this for my girls, not only for them to see that mommy is a single parent and is doing it, but mommy also can open up her own company and do whatever I can do and be the best for them. And my girls actually work for me. So I include them in what I do. And every time mommy gets a sale, we do a happy dance because I could not do what I do without them. They are part of my house. And if one brick is missing from the house, then the whole house is going to fall down. So, yes, I do this part time.
So I got a question, Latasha. So I know when you first started, which is back in November of 2022, right? Coming as a part-time and just kind of, I know you have your take on doing outbound as a part-time agent. What was your experience when you first got here? Like, what type of leads were you taking, and then how were you able to transition over? Like, talk about like the first couple of months, like, because first couple of months, and your experience here part-time, real quick.
Yes. So, real quick, I passed my license the first time around. So I'm going to say thank you to Miss Sheena because I took her training courses. Took it first time, passed. One. So when I actually officially started, when I got my license on October 5th of 2022, I didn't get my first policy until November. I was ordering leads. So I was following what the leaders told me to do. Order 20 leads every week, order 20 leads every week as a part-time individual. However, I didn't understand it. And when I say I didn't understand it, ordering leads is you have to work your leads, but I didn't understand it because I was still having my full-time job in here. So hear me out. I got my license October 5th, didn't get my first policy to the November 1st, but I didn't get my first paycheck until January. And the reason why I didn't understand the leads, I was ordering leads and I wasn't working it. And everybody knows once you order leads, you have 10 days to pay it back. So by the time I was making my first sales, it was going to paying back what I was ordering. So I remember it was Thanksgiving Eve and I was hustling. I just traveled the morning of to New Jersey to visit my parents for Thanksgiving. And sometimes when you call a lead, you may not get it the first time around, but you keep on calling, building your rapport. And I had 2 calls that were going to sign their policies on Thanksgiving Eve. And I signed 2 Thanksgiving Eve in New Jersey at my parents' house. And I remember Miss Rachel came on and was like, Tasha, what type of leads do you take? And I said, I order leads. She was like, well, Latasha, your voice is actually a whole lot better than mine. You're more patient. She said, but let me ask you a question. If you order 10 leads, out of those 10 leads, how many people are you going to speak to? And I said, maybe 4 people. She said, okay. And out of those 4 people, how many you may sign? I said, maybe 1, possibly 2. She said, okay, if you order 10 live transfers, how many people are you going to speak to? I said 10. And she said, how many think you're going to sell out of that? I said, I'm hoping at least 5, maybe 4. She said, okay, look at those odds. Look at those numbers. When she said that, it clicked to me like, whoa, as a part-time person, I need to really maximize my time on how I'm going to do this part-time. So I had to tell myself, how am I going to set myself to order live transfers? Because again, I'm a single parent. I don't get any help financially, not through child support. And just to let you know, my family, first generation born here in this country, and their father, my ex-husband, was actually born in the same country where my family's from, in Guyana, in South America. And he literally fled to Guyana so he doesn't have to pay child support or give me any money to take care of his own kids. So at this time, I said, I got to figure this out. I got to figure how I'm going to do this. So just to let you know, I got my first sale in November, but I did not get paid until January because I had to work my leads. I didn't understand my leads.
So going into that, so when it clicked and you started taking live transfers, by that time, what was your production looking like by now as a part-timer of what was your production look like after taking transition over to live transfers?
My production definitely grew. But at the same time, it did grow, but at the same time, that was also busy season for me at work, where there were some days that I literally worked through the night to get assignments done. So I'm production based. Yes, I do have hours that I have to get done, but I also have assignments that I have to get done. So when I started taking that, I was actually able to get 2 sales per week. That was always my goal, to get 2 sales. So, and before it was kind of rocky, maybe one, but I was able to officially get 2 sales per week. So my production did start to grow. And honestly, one thing I love that Bianca said, the best is yet to come at the conference. The best of me has yet to come because I have continuously grown ever since I started taking live transfers. It comes from your mindset. I'm in the East Coast. I started getting more licenses in different states, that the time zone is a lot later. And not if a lot of people know. I know they say work till 30 after dark. I work till 11 o'clock. Why? Because that's when the last live transfer comes into us. So that's how I'm able to do it. So I literally work to about 11 o'clock.
Let me just confirm that, because I know you got a full-time job at the with the government. And so then once you get off of work, after you get Taylor and baby girl, Lord Jesus, I forgot baby girl's name.
Leanna and Taylor.
Yes, Deanna. Deanna, getting them taken care of, and then as a single parent, and then getting off of work, and then getting on the virtual call center. What time your day started as a part-time agent?
So each day is different. My girls are very active. And when I say active, they do pageants, they do dance class, different days. They do band club, they do drama club. Um, I can name a whole lot more. They're busy. So, and I'm gonna say this before I go into what I'm about to say. Being plugged in is very important. These morning meetings are just like training, but I get nuggets from everybody. I listen. And the reason why I say that is, if I can give advice to any new agent or even any agent, you have to be consistent. Someone said it on here. Your business is like your business. You have to run it like Walmart, Target, or any local supermarket there. They have business hours. So for me, I have business hours. I do give myself a plus or minus 15 minutes, but I give myself grace period. So Mondays and Wednesdays, I have to pick up my kids from school, and I'm looking up because I have it written on the wall. I have to pick up my kids from school at 5:15. I give myself a grace period of 45 minutes to get home, get dinner ready. If I can't get dinner ready, I've prepped it enough where my oldest daughter gets dinner ready. Because again, we're a house. If one brick is missing, the house falls down, and everybody knows their assignment. So I'm on Mondays and Wednesdays at 6 o'clock. And I set my time from 6 to 9, and anything above that is a plus. So I'm here on Mondays and Wednesdays from 6 to 9 plus. Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I'm looking up because my calendar's right in front of me. I have to pick up my kids from school at 6:15. Again, that gives me a grace period of 45 minutes because I'm on from 7 to 9. But even though I said 7 to 9, it's really 7 to 11 because I want to make sure I'm able to take as many live transfers as I can in the evening. So, and then because I am single, I promised myself to only work 1 week in a month, but I do more than that. I'm not even going to lie. And the weekend for me includes Friday and Saturday. Um, Again, my kids have dance class on Friday and Saturday, so my hours are a little bit, when I can fit it in. But I'm consistent with trying to get here in the morning on Saturdays. And after my daughter has dance class, if I don't have to do anything with them after dance class, then I'm back on. If not, I end at about 1:30. So from the morning to about 1:30.
And
So
so
my hours are different, but it's consistent.
So being on, and so touching on the virtual call center every single day. Every now and then she might pop up on a Saturday, but literally every single day as a part-time agent. And so being here after 1 year, I know last month was a little iffy, but could you talk about after being here for 1 year as a part-time agent, after being here for a year, what was your first 2 pay-through checks look like?
It was over $1,000. I think, was it 13?
Yeah, a little.
It was over that. It was a little over $1,000. So every month I get a check for a little over $1,000 for policies that I wrote when I first started. And honestly, that's a blessing. I call that my child support money. But nonetheless, it's a blessing. It's definitely a blessing.
Well, thank you so much, Miss Latasha. Like you said, one last thing, give one more very great piece of advice to a part-time agent that works at part-time. Part-time agents don't stay around long. Don't for whatever reason. So can you give them a good an advice for somebody who even part-time? Tasha did a little over, and I gotta look at the number. I think she did a little over maybe 15. I want to say probably right at 15, maybe a little bit more, 1,000 last month as a part-timer. And she only works a few hours. I know she put in hours, but she only works a few hours. So I think she did, and she struggled her in the very beginning. And so she just getting her mojo. So she started to make a lot more of her income towards the end of the year. So what would you say to a part-time agent who's like, I'm dibble dabbling in this? What would be your piece of advice for them just to keep going, to be here a year from now? And then Surf got a question.
Stay plugged in. You have to stay plugged in because it's, like we say, life be lifing. You have to stay plugged in. If you're not, you're going to drift away. The other thing is having an accountability partner is key. When I say that, Powerhouse and Phase One, we are literally a family. Phase One, we pray together. We cry together and we pray together. So, my advice is have an accountability partner. I've gone through 3 accountability partners since I've been here. And thank God I have one now that matches me for who I am. And we encourage each other on a regular basis. We don't just know what's going on with work, but we actually know what's going on with our family as well. So, that's like your best friend. You have to have an accountability partner because life be life. And sometimes you might slide back a little bit, but your accountability partner is going to pick you back up and they're going to motivate you to keep on going. So in anything in life, you have to have an accountability partner.
All right, good stuff. Miss Surf.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Latasha, awesome, amazing story there. I love it. What my question is, what inspired you to stand up and ask that first question at the conference? What got in you to say, I want to know? Great question too, by the way.
Well, again, I've been in the government for 20 years. I've met with many CEOs of companies. I've met with a lot of executives. And honestly, when you look at anyone and you talk to anyone, they're human just like you. And if you want to move on in life, you have to ask questions. And I always say this to everybody. This is part of the saying that we say, a closed mouth won't get fed. If you don't ask questions, you're not going to know what's going on. So it doesn't intimidate me, anybody's position, because I want to know, and I want to know how to move forward and move forward correctly.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I got a question, Tasha.
Okay,
Good,
Mr.
good
Keith.
morning to you. I usually don't like to talk while driving. That's like drinking. I'd rather drink and drive than talk and drive. But nevertheless, awesome job. But I'm sitting here listening to you, and I know that the struggle is real. What kept you from not quitting? You ordered all these leads. You really didn't understand what you were doing, and you were excited. You made that first sale, and you realized you ain't getting no money. but you got this high lead balance and you working full time and you still getting off work, working and making sales, but not making any money because you got this lead balance, but you still came every day and showed up and still worked the work. Why didn't you quit?
I think because of my birthday month, July, Cancers, we don't quit. I studied my butt off for that exam. I remember some days I didn't even sleep before going back to work. I studied my butt off. Why would I allow what I've done, passing the exam the first time around, just to fail? That doesn't make any sense to me. And not only that, you know, Machina poured it into me. Mr. Keith, you poured into me. I'm who I am today because you drilled it into me. So why would I give up anything that you guys have poured into me, throw it away? Not only that, Mr. Donaldo, you know, there was a time where I was stressed out and he didn't see me for a few days. He called me and we spoke for over an hour. A lot of respect to Mr. Donaldo. If you haven't had a conversation with him, do it. Just everybody pouring into me. So why would I give that up? You know, you guys are my family. And when I say I love you, I mean what I say. And I also do have an open door policy. If anyone, you know, anybody can contest that knows me. You have a question, ask me. If you see me on Telegram, I think my name is Sears78, but my name is my married name is London, but my maiden name is Sears, and I kept my married name for my kids. But nonetheless, I didn't quit because you guys are my family. Why would I want to give up on that? Why would I want to give up on myself? You know, I put a lot of work into it. So I'm gonna keep on going.
Miss good
Absolutely.
stuff. Bethany.
Good morning. Thank you, Latasha. I must say I admire your tenacity and your resiliency, girl. Single parent and everything. That's awesome. But my question is why, okay, so you work full time and obviously that money goes to taking care of your family, your house, whatever. Why weren't you afraid of spending that money on buying leads? Especially since you didn't sell that much in the beginning and you had this high lead balance. What kept you from like, you know what I mean? Why were you afraid of that? Because a lot of people are scared to buy leads and scared to like, especially when they dialing out and stuff. So tell me why weren't you afraid of that and taking money out your family's house?
Well, first off, you do take money out of your family house because you have to pay for onboarding. You have to pay for your licenses. You have to pay. I ordered folders. So there was a lot of my finances coming out and going into my business. So, you know, your licenses. And remember, I was still, even though I wasn't making any money, I was still purchasing new licenses.
Exactly.
So I was spending it. But you have to remember, a single parent. I'm 45 years old. I own my own home. My kids are active. They're expensive.
Exactly.
My mom looks at me like I couldn't do that. But today's society puts pressure on kids. My daughter got a Marc Jacob bag for Christmas. I don't own a Marc Jacob bag, but nonetheless, so yeah, I did have to take money out. And I honestly, this is where it comes from, following what your leaders tell you to do. I was told to order 20 leads and I did what they told me to do. Why? Because I saw what they did. I saw where they are. I heard their journey and I was, you know, following what they were told me. And then when Miss Rachel told me to transition, I slowly transitioned. But you have to remember too, I was also a single parent taking care of my whole entire household, plus trying to pay for a divorce, plus trying to still take care of financial debt from my marriage. So there was a lot coming at me at one time. And even though my parents can help me, I'm not that individual to go to my parents. Would they be willing to? Absolutely. But you know, I'm a very independent person and I want to pave the way and I want to show my daughters you can do it. But I also have a great circle of family and friends around me where they know that even though their father messed up, they're still great men in their lives. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem.
Bianca.
Keith stole my question, but yeah, super inspiring. Yeah, you kind of had me emotional because I know how it is to be a single parent. I think there's just something about being a single parent that like there's you can't quit. Like it's just not an option, and I think that's people are like, how do you do what you do? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm a single parent. It gives you like this fire in you. But I posted something last night and it was a quote from Michael Jordan. It said, my greatest skill was that I was coachable. I was a sponge and aggressive to learn. And, we could all say like, oh, why did you do this, Latasha? Like what, but it just sounds like you were coachable. And there's some people that are going to come in and be coachable and see what's suggested and do it. And there's going to be some people that are not. So that's why you're getting the results. So, congratulations to you. And, can't wait to see where, your journey ends up. So
Thank you. And you're definitely inspiring too. Like I even told Carlene and Shingai, they're like my sisters from another mother. And in you, I love learning from you, the words that you say. So thank you. You're inspiring as well.
yes, thank you.
Latasha, my name is Catherine. I'm a New York agent, and thank you for sharing your story. That was just really courageous of you. I've also in the aftermath of a few years in after a divorce and domestic situation. So I really do admire you. So thank you. I have a question for you. Engaging your financial responsibilities, as a single breadwinner. What would you say for someone that would be trying to figure out whether part-time or full-time with sticking with it, especially in the newer months, is more feasible, taking that into consideration?
Your leader would probably want you, and I'm just being honest, want you to do this full time, because if you're going to do this part-time, you might give yourself a whole bunch of other excuses not to do it. However, I would say it really lays in with you. Don't give yourself any excuses. So can you do it? Absolutely. Can you do it full-time? Yes. Again, I'm with the federal government for 20 years. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. God willing. But at the end of the day, you have to know what you need for you. And one thing you have to do is you have to write your goals down. If you don't see it plain in front of you, you're not going to know what it is. You have to write your goals down. So if your goal is to make this full time, do it full time. You have to make it work for you. And there's so much support here on the VCC, whether it's from your upline or anyone else, that they want to see you succeed. That's the one thing I could say. This entire unit here, there's maybe different groups, but everybody wants to see you succeed. So if you want to do this full time, you can do it full time, but it first starts with you.
Thank you.
Carlene. Y'all can raise your hand.
Oh. 1 second. All right. Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Morning, my sister.
I just want to first, hey, honey. I first just want to say, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. You are amazing. From someone who has walked that part-time to full-time road, I know what it's like. I know the struggle to really stay committed to that schedule. So I'm so glad that you laid out for us in detail just your focus on having a schedule and sticking to it. And you have so many things going on with, the children, but you are like, set, this is my schedule. So great job. Definitely here to continue rooting for you. And for everyone else who is part-time, you're definitely a testament of being focused and having that schedule, because a lot of part-timers fall off because they're just doing it when they can, versus making the mindset that this is my part-time business and these are my part-time business hours. So high five to you. All right. Thank you for sharing your story today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Latasha, I wanted to say thank you for sharing your story, because just yesterday I was talking to someone I told about the opportunity, And I realized I didn't know where to start. I mean, I signed up, I think in September, October, and just could not figure out where to start. So thank you for sharing your schedule, because this is exactly what I needed. I'm like, if I'm doing this part-time, how do you do it? And nobody really, most people were full-time. So I really appreciate you sharing and giving me some clear direction. So I know what to do now. So I really appreciate that.
No problem. And one other thing, when you're doing your schedule, be realistic with it. Don't
Mhm.
don't rush yourself, because you do need a mental standpoint. So even with me saying, I have to pick up my kids at 5:15, I still have my structure of I can sign into my job between 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning. So
Mhm.
depending on what time I get up. So if I sign on at 6 o'clock, I get off at 2:30. If I sign on at 7, I can get off at 3:30, depending on what my meetings and trainings may look like or what projects I may have. If it's, not a chaotic day. But at the end of the day, after that, it's time for me. So you have to be realistic where you have time for you. One day I do not work is on a Sunday. Why?
Mhm.
Because that's like my de-stressor day. But if someone asks me to help them with training, if someone asks me, hey, I need you to listen to a phone call, I'm always there. And I've done that. So I do give myself that one day, Sunday. Church, family time is important. Like I literally, in my calendar, I have to tell the girls, okay, Friday night after dance class is movie time, because you still have to put family time into your
Yeah.
schedule. You don't want to burn yourself. So be realistic. When you're sitting it down, you literally have to write down your time. You have to, I tell everybody, you have to have a calendar. You have to have a
Mhm.
calendar, especially when you're doing this part time, because you're going to be all over the place and you can't keep everything right here.
That's
So you
right.
have to
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
reach out to me if you ever, want to talk. And that's for anybody too.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Miss T.
My Miss Tasha, Miss Tasha, Miss Tasha. I
Harry.
am so super proud of you. And it just feels so great to still see your face, because you're just one of the ones that I know where we started together with Miss Sheena. So to still see you here and to see you push and to hear your story, I just want to say I'm so proud of you, and just keep on pushing. I know we done went way past the time we supposed to, but I just wanted to just give you that shout out, girl, and say keep it moving, because this is still only the beginning.
Yes. So Terry,
And
you are one
yeah.
who actually helped me be grounded at our conference for Powerhouse. Terry, Jalicia, and Trinity. You guys gave me a talk that I needed. So you guys are family, like hands down. I probably, when Mr. Keith asked me that question, what keep me coming here? My family, and you are my family. So I love you, girl.
Yes, ma'am. Love you back.
Awesome, awesome. Well, great information. Latasha said a lot of things that I hope hit home. She talked about schedule. She talked about having an accountability partner, and she talked about really just listening to your leaders. And so I think some of those things that we think that are small, however, that plays a huge part in your success. It plays a huge part. The system is great. This is an amazing system. The leads are great, but if you don't have leaders, if you do not have an accountability partner, and if you don't have a why, you're not gonna stay long. And if your why don't make you cry, then it's a lie. You need to find you another why. So thank you so much, Miss Latasha. Miss Latasha, part-time queen with the full-time benefits, baby.
Work
So
ethic.
Yes, Miss
thank you.
Latasha.
Thank
Tasha.
you.
Oh,
Tasha.
yeah.
Tasha.
Great job.
Great,
Thank
amazing job.
Amazing.
Awesome. Hope she's an inspiration for all you part-timers. All right, Jen, we're gonna turn it back over to you, baby girl.
Thank you. Yeah, good job, Natasha. It's such an honor to hear your story and share. Well, back by popular demand, I'm gonna bring back something here for you guys. 1 second. Go ahead, Eric, if you can. Back by popular demand. Let me slow it down for you guys. For the top 10 top 10 teams. Number 10 spot goes to the Bornstein group, 16,000. Number 9 spot goes to the McNair group. Number 8 spot goes to the Team No Limits. You guys ain't even cheering, ain't giving no love. What is wrong with y'all?
McNair Company.
Number 7
Go,
spot
Ray,
goes
go.
to New Life
Let's
Insurance.
go.
New Life. Number 6 goes
Let's
to your Rich
go.
Advisory
New Life.
Group.
And
Number 5 goes to the
Great
to the
job.
Financial Agency. Number 4, the Berkeley Group. Number 3, the Birch Group. Number 2, Phase 1.
Phase
one.
Phase
Wow.
one.
The